Each particle in the universe carries with it a number of properties. This determines how the particle interacts with each other of the four forces. For the force of gravity, this property is mass. For the force of electromagnetism, the property is called electric charge. For the purpose of this course, we can think of electric charge as a real number, Q. Importantly, charge can be positive or negative. It can also be zero, in which case the particle is unaffected by the force of electromagnetism. The SI unit of charge is the coulomb, denoted by a capital C. It is, like all SI units, a parallel measure, convenient for human activity, rather than informed by the underlying laws of the physics. We will learn more about how the coulomb is defined in the next section. At a fundamental level, nature provides us with a better unit of charge. This follows from the fact that charge is quantized, or the charge of any particle is an integer multiple of the charge carried by the electron, which we denote as minus E, with E equals 602176634 times 10 to the power of 19 C. A much more natural unit would be to simply count charge as Q equals NE, with N is integers. Then electrons have charge -1, protons have charge -1, proton has charge +1. Neutron is 0. Nonetheless, in this course, we will bow to convention and stick with SI units. And aside, the charge of quarks is actually Q minus E divided by 3 and Q 2 times E divided by 3. This doesn't change the spirit of the above discussion, since we could just change the basic unit. But apart from in extreme circumstances, quarks are confined inside protons and neutrons, so we rarely have to worry about this. One of the key goals of this course is to move beyond the dynamic of point particles and onto the dynamic of continuous objects known as fields. To aid in this, it's useful to consider the charge density, which is rho x function of x and t, defined as charge per unit volume. The total charge Q in a given region V is simply Q integral V In most situations, we will consider smooth charge densities, which can be thought of as arising from averaging over many point-light particles. But on occasion, we will return to the idea of a single particle of charge Q moving on some trajectory R. So, single particle with charge Q, trajectory R, density Q, where the delta function ensures that all the charge sits at a point. More generally, we will need to describe the movement of charge from one place to another. This is captured by a quantity known as the current density. This is J function of x and t, defined as follows. For every surface S, the integral J dot ds counts the charge per unit time passing through S. So this is here ds is the unit normal to S. The quantity I is called current. In this sense, the current density is the current per unit area. The above is a rather indirect definition of the current density. To get more intuitive picture, consider a continuous charge distribution in which the velocity of a small volume at point x is given by f x t. So this is the velocity. Then, neglecting relativistic effect, the current density is J rho times V. In particular, if a single particle is moving with velocity V equals R dot T, the current density will J Q V del x minus R T. So the illustration is like this. And this is surface S in which there is a current flux. So this is the underlying charged particle as shown as red balls moving through the blue surface S. As a simple example, consider electrons moving along a wire. So we model the wire as long cylinder of cross-sectional area A, as shown like this. I'm sorry. This one's supposed to dash line. This is area A, this electron. This is the wire. We model the wire as a long cylinder of cross-sectional area A. The electrons move its velocity v parallel to the axis of the wire. In reality, the electrons will have some distribution of speed. We take v to be their average velocity. If there are n electrons per unit volume, each with charge q, then the charge density is rho equals nq, and the current density is J equals nqv. The current itself is I equals absolute value of J times A. Through this course, the current density J plays a much more prominent role than the current E. For this reason, we will often refer J as simply the current. Although we will be more careful when the terminology when there is any possibilities for confusion.